Okay, good afternoon, everybody. This is Russell Palmer from Virtalis. Welcome to our short webinar talking about the PTC LiveWorx exhibition and the part that Virtalis will be playing there. I wanted to take 15 minutes today to talk to you a little bit about what we'll be doing at Virtalis and perhaps some of the things that you might be able to see when you come and have a chat with us. Just take a minute or so to introduce myself. My name is Russell Palmer. As I said before, I'm the Chief Digital Transformation Officer at Virtalis. That means that I have responsibility, amongst other things, for our go-to-market strategy and execution across the company. And today I'm going to focus on some key asset, really, some key content that we would like to share with you when you get to PTC LiveWorx. We have done a very large industry conference back at the beginning of April called the Hanover Messe, which is based in Hanover in Germany. And there's about 250,000 people go to that exhibition, mostly focused on the manufacturing sector. And what we did there, and we're doing the same thing at PTC LiveWorx, is we have what we call the Pioneer Assessment. So this is a small assessment really to try and gauge how people are using visualization as a tool for transformation, as a tool for cost reduction and efficiency across different use cases. And what I want to do today is really give you a quick glimpse, if you like, at some of the findings that we had from those assessments to give you a sense for what other companies are doing with visualization as a transformational tool. So let me get into that one quickly. Just quick overview of the demographic information. We had a total sample count of about 163 assessments, and the largest segment, if you like, in terms of industry segments were represented were in the material space, so either raw materials, iron and steel, combined percentage there of 29%, and that was followed up by renewable energy and the defense segments of 9% each. The use cases for visualization were sort of the biggest was manufacturing, planning, and operations visualization, followed by design at 37%, design and design review, and then the third largest was visualization for training, and a few other cases which were put together into the category of other. And finally, the responsibilities of the respondents to our survey is the biggest population of pioneers came from the manufacturing, planning and operations, which is not really surprising given the focus of the conference overall and the fact that that is also reflected in the industry segment breakdown. And then also the product design, operations and product design is about 20% and 25% respectively. So we had a good spread of different types of people taking the Pioneer assessment. And so what we did was we asked the respondents a few sets of questions, and what we asked them was, we started out by talking about a particular use case and a particular case study of a Virtalis customer, and talked about how that customer was using visualization today, and we had asked that customer to rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 9 in terms of their capability of using visualization. And that gave us a baseline. And then we asked the respondents how they rated themselves today in that aspect, and then how they felt where they needed to be in terms of their visualization capability in those different aspects into the future to be successful in transformation. So that gave us a best case, if you like, a baseline, and then an objective. And then, of course, we've taken an average across that. And in some cases, we have also then given a personalized report back to each of the respondents to see how their scores specifically ranked up against the average scores. So if we take a quick look at some of the data that we saw there. So these three sets of data here are talking about where respondents rated themselves in terms of their capability for using visualization in what we call the 3 steps of transformation. So the first step being using visualization to achieve efficiency and cost reductions. The second step being visualization to realize a digital thread. So that's connecting groups across their own organization and then externally, both in terms of suppliers, partners, and customers. And then finally, to use visualization as a tool to re-engineer their market, to create new business models and to grow their business in either adjacent markets or new markets, which they had not been doing previously. So we take a look at each of those. You see that the blue column represents the best in class. So this is the existing Virtalis customer who rated themselves in terms of visualization for efficiency and cost reduction at a 5 out of 9. The average baseline in terms of our respondents at Hanover was a 3 out of 9, so you can see that it rated themselves reasonably low. And then their objective was very close to 7, so more than twice as much in terms of an improvement of visualization capability for efficiency and cost reduction. Those numbers are very similar to the numbers that represent the visualization to realize the digital thread. So the best in class again is a 5 out of 9. The current state is 2.9, just short of 3, and the objective is again 6.9, just short of 7. So again, a more than 100% improvement in capability around visualization for, in this case, the digital thread that most of our respondents felt that they needed to achieve. And then the final step in terms of using visualization to re-engineer the marketplace, build new business models. The best in class is a 2, and this is not surprising because if you're re-engineering your market, if you're building new business models, it's going to be relatively early stage. And that was echoed in terms of the average baseline as well. And then again, we had 100% objective in terms of the ambition for improvement to achieve transformation up to the number of 4. So the conclusion that we draw from this is that, in fact, there is some, awareness, perhaps even confusion as to the potential for using visualization as a tool for transformation. And in digging a little bit deeper into this, we found that there are a few reasons that we think that this is the case. The first is that there is a lot of what we call marketing noise, because visualization really comprises a number of different things. You have virtual reality, you have augmented reality, you have mixed reality, and there's a lot of marketing noise depending on vendors, depending on software vendors or headset vendors, that sort of thing. And that causes some confusion in the marketplace. So definitely people are a little bit confused as to what could I do with visualization, and what is the difference between one type of visualization and another. The second is that there is a little bit more confusion in the market around what we call capability stretching. So these are vendors that are typically providing software and solutions, perhaps in the digital manufacturing arena or in the computer-aided design space, and then stretching those capabilities or offering sort of add-ons to those capabilities that provide some level of visualization. So this might be to build 3D PDFs, for example, from CAD applications, which yes provide some visualization, but doesn't give the same capabilities that we're talking about in terms of enabling digital transformation. A third reason comes from again compartmentalized work practices. So this is a little bit of people in different parts of the organization sticking within their silos. So designers stick with designers, manufacturers stick with manufacturers, and it's really difficult to get those different groups, those different stakeholders to collaborate and work together across the enterprise. So again, the capability or the potential for visualization to help bust those silos is not very well appreciated. And then the last one that we dug into was to find out, that there are quite a lot of gaps in terms of skills and training, for example, and the right profile of people for transforming digital capabilities, and that's overall, not just with visualization. So there are a number of different things to address there, and I think this really goes to support the observation that, in fact, digital transformation doesn't really have an endpoint. It isn't really a simple application of technology to existing processes, because in the end, if you just make bad processes digital, you just have bad digital processes. So it means that there is a lot more transformation that needs to happen, as well as the technology. So just in the interest of time and moving on quickly from there, I'm going to skip to the overall recommendations from our assessment and the analysis of the data there. Our recommendations for using visualization for digital transformation for pioneers is to select a use case, a first use case to apply the visualization, to define objectives and key results for that project, so that it's very clear what you're trying to get to, how you might use visualization to get to that, and then how you measure progress towards that objective. The second thing is to design the user journeys and to use visualization within the core of engineering manufacturing processes. Again, it's not enough simply to put a digital tool in place. Those tools have to be used as part of the core DNA, if you like, within the processes around manufacturing, engineering, and design, for them to really have a meaningful impact on the transformation process. And then lastly, of course, to measure the benefits, refine the processes, and then include the visualization within other processes. We have customers, one in particular in the renewable energy space, that is really looking at visualization as a core tool that they're going to use in order to transform the way that they do the full end-to-end design value chain from concept through to manufacturing. And they're using visualization not only for visualizing the specific designs as an example, but at the same time also to understand where are the highest error rates in terms of the particular designs that they have, what causes the highest return rates. Also, where are the areas where processes are not being followed in terms of the design stage gates, as an example. So it's a pretty innovative way to think about using visualization, but it's a very powerful tool that they have at their disposal to transform the way that they do that. So finally then, just want to give you a sense for where we are and what we're doing at PTC LiveWorx. We're really excited to be able to participate at the conference. There is an Ignite Talks session delivered by our CEO, Gunther Dahm, and that is at 3 p.m. on Wednesday, the 12th of June. A little bit before that, on the same day, Wednesday, the 12th of June, we have a 45-minute breakout session where we will be covering 6 case studies, many of which were included within the Pioneer assessment that I just covered earlier. And then finally, of course, we have a booth, stand 919, in the main exhibition hall, just to the right-hand side as you come down the escalator into the main hall, where you can come and speak to Virtalis folks. You can see a demonstration of our connected immersive visualization, and you can take your own Pioneer assessment to see where you score on that different scales of transformation. So with that, I thank you very much for your time. Appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to be with us today, and we look forward to seeing you at PTC LiveWorx. Bye-bye.